Hi, welcome to my podcast, and my guest today is Dr. Florent Costantini from France. Besides of being an ophthalmologist and specialist in cataract and refractive surgeries, Dr. Costantini is also an entrepreneur who, together with his brother, who is also an ophthalmologist, developed his own software company. And today he will share his experience of being a young entrepreneur and how software innovations invade in ophthalmology and in medicine in general. Enjoy the episode. Florent, thank you so much for joining me today. I would like to start now from the very beginning. And I would like to talk first about the benefits of using software in our daily life, in general in medicine, and what are the main benefits of the software development and in general this continuously and constantly developed med technology, and what are the main key aspects for that?
Yes, I think Tuti, the thing is to be successful, to be interesting, a product has to solve a problem. And today, how society move so fast, the thing is, if we want to have a smart solution, we need to fit to the market and to fit to the problem people want to solve. I mean, we need to create something a lot of people want, and as their life change fast, we have to have products which can move fast. And the thing is, it's not possible with hardware. Hardware is
Mhm.
not so, can I say, so. Um, uh, it's not such a liquid asset like
Okay.
software, you know. So the first thing is you can move fast. The second thing for me is that it's really cheaper to create something like software instead of a hardware. With hardware, you have a lot of problems with industrialization, supply chain, and patterns to start the first move. It's really, really complicated. For
So is
example,
it about the organizational things or about the usage?
yes, both
Both.
organization and creation too. When just imagine two young medical doctors trying to create a new biometers or
Mhm.
retinograph, it would be so complicated and so expensive to start. The thing is,
Yeah.
with a laptop, today, two medical students are able to create a powerful tool and to show traction really fast because they will be able to put it right in the market really fast with their
Mhm.
colleagues, with their relative, and so on. So, uh, software is for me the new way doctors can really change their job for sure.
And what are the key aspects of having constantly developed software? What makes us to develop software constantly?
You talked regarding the creation.
Yes, so why we have this urge of having constantly developed med technology?
Because when we talk about innovation, we want to create uh, things that will change really the lives of a lot of people. If you create something just for you, there is no market. If
Mhm.
you need to change thing in a big way, you have to have a product cheap and that will be really easy to spread fast. Just imagine that you
Mhm.
could have a solution that you could upload on a computer of, let's say, few thousand of doctors in just one day. That will be completely impossible with a hardware one. Now, talking about refraction and or talking about ophthalmology, regarding just look at the numbers. The numbers are crazy. There is
Mhm.
so much people who need to have a comprehensive eye exam at the minimum, let's say, every 2 years. and we are not so numerous to answer to that, to tackle this problem. There is not enough doctors to do that, so we need to create powerful tools to do that. And the thing is, we can't create anything else that's a software solution. That will be the key to do that.
Um, the Prestory of creating your product, Glasspop, and the benefits it provided you in your daily life. I want to talk about this because I always like to talk about pre-stories whenever I have some new projects or something, because I think it's very exciting to hear.
Yes, uh, uh, let's say at the beginning, so my brother is an ophthalmologist too, and at the beginning we think about we thought that mm, we have to find tools to save times in our mm, daily daily practice. So when we think about ophthalmology, I think the most consuming step is refraction. And with my brother, we said, okay, I think there are key steps in the refraction, and maybe we could write an algorithm and transfer the task, make shift and transfer the task of refraction on the patient itself. Because look at our waiting room. There is plenty of patients
Mhm.
just wasting their time and be nervous in front of us. So let's find a solution to tackle two problems. Let's kill two birds with one stone. Make these patients happy, and let's
I was happy to.
us happy too, less nervous, and let's uh, them work a little for us and for them too. And so we say, okay, when we take a step back and we see how refraction has moved since the beginning. At the beginning, it was, very complicated with retinoscopy and skiascopy, and I never managed to do a skiascopy one time in my life. Thank you, autorefractors. So thanks to technology, for example, autorefractors, we were able to transfer the task of refraction from doctors to optometrist or assistant. And we say, okay, we need them on board with us on a more complicated task. We need optometrist and assistant in the consulting room in more complicated tasks like biometry, preoperative checkup, and maybe in the operating room too. That would be really really interesting to have them, for example, in France. So we say, okay, let's save time in refraction and let's try to move refraction to patient alone. And
Mhm.
so we start to create this algorithm and taste it on our patients, and actually it worked well. The thing is, now we're at some point where we need to have a huge company, an industrial company with us to build in this software, this algorithm in their refraction, in their refractive measuring machine. And we thought about NIDEC to do that, and so we made an appointment with NIDEC team in France. And at the beginning, they were really, how can I say, real. I said, okay, let's every weekend and every night, let's try to build our algorithm inside.
And it was only
And
you and your brother, just both of
yes,
you.
mm,
So
yes,
this means that you are technically able to install this software in the machine.
yes.
Okay,
Yes,
that's good.
because my brother have little capacity in regarding IT,
Mhm.
um, so he was able to do that, and
Mhm.
uh, we did that, and we have something like, I think, 50 patients, and we have pictures and movies of patients doing refraction by themselves, with which was totally illegal, because we have no certification with the algorithm, and we no certification with the little hardware parts we created. But the thing is, Nidec, at the end of the day, was surprised, and they started to hear us with more interest,
Mm-hmm.
and we were able to have a really partnership with them, and to show traction to bank, and to raise debt from bank
Mm-hmm.
with this idea. And that was the start.
And
At
how long it took you to create this software?
Now we are I think when people said, how long does it take to create a product, and regarding software, I think, if we started 3 years ago, and for me, that's not finished. That's never
Of
finished.
course. Yes.
The thing is, I think the real question is how long does it take to create something that could show value. That the
Mm-hmm.
real question. And I think, to be successful, you have to create something really fast, because when I talk to entrepreneurs, they have always it's always the same thing. They have a real idea, and a real precise, accurate idea of the project. I can see that they have something in their mind. But the thing is, you it's not efficient to aim perfection at the beginning.
Yeah.
It's counterintuitive, but you can't. You have to create what we call a minimum valuable product, an MVP,
Yeah.
and you have to create that fast, for two reasons. First, the
To
most
get a patent of the idea, probably.
we have to talk about patent just after. Remind me that,
Okay.
but that's
Okay.
not the problem. But that's really really interesting. The thing is, uh, your biggest enemy in entrepreneurship is time,
Mm-hmm.
for sure. So let's drop the perfection and
Mm-hmm.
create an MVP first, and really fast. It don't have to be appealing, it have to be efficient.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to create a real the simplest product that could um, um, that could create your RD in a tangible way, you know. And the second thing is, every successful companies I know change their ID between the launch and the success, every time,
Mm-hmm.
because you better understand the market after the launch. You better understand the market when you create something, and when you get the
Of
feedback of
course.
those
Yes, there is an
customers.
evolutionary process from the very beginning
Always,
and
always,
continuously. Yeah.
always. So the thing is, let's create something, and you will be able to change that. And
Mm-hmm.
the thing is, you have time, you have a short period of time between the launch and the understanding of the market.
Mm-hmm.
And this period of time is called the lifetime of the company, you know.
Mm-hmm. Where you
That,
can decide if it's gonna be successful or not.
for sure, for sure,
Mm-hmm.
to be successful, you have to to understand what is wrong in your product, because there is always something wrong at the beginning, regarding the product, or the way you imagine people will interact with it, etc.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And so when you created this product, did you have already your final vision, or you decided, okay, I will, it's like, you're on a horse and it's foggy around, but you see your 1 meter step. Was it like that, or you had already your vision where you're heading and you decided to take micro steps in order to create first MVP, in order to settle your place in the market, as I understood? And the reason for that is that to be first, so this place is not taken, basically. That's no one comes with this idea. So you decide to create MVP, and then you make a strategy with little micro steps. Or did you know already your final, or did you have already your final vision where you're heading?
I had one,
You had.
but
Mhm.
but it was wrong.
Okay.
At the beginning, we thought that the most powerful product would be to have an automatic refraction in a booth,
Mhm.
like a photo booth.
Mhm.
And we created a photo booth for refraction. But the thing is, it didn't work because I think people were confused about refraction and comprehensive eye exam.
Okay.
And people think that, and I'm 100% sure you see that every day. People think that when you have 20/20 and a perfect vision, there is no problem in the eye, and uh,
Yes.
and
Yes.
and everything is okay. And the problem was that with the booth, at the beginning we thought that people will go in the booth and then see the doctors to have the comprehensive eye exam, but people was thinking, I don't have a reason to see the ophthalmologist again, because now I have my prescription.
Mhm.
And so the most valuable thing was to put that booth in an ophthalmological center. And the thing is, um, the most valuable part of the product was the algorithm. And so we say, okay, let's drop the booth and let's work on the algorithm and let's make it really powerful in regarding time and accuracy. And that's what we did.
And I also
So
wanted to.
I had
Sorry.
I had a clear vision, really accurate vision of the final goal, but it was totally wrong.
Yeah,
It
but
was,
this is the thing about the evolution, that evolutionary the product
for sure,
changes
for
based
sure.
on external factors. But I also wanted to tell a story about the voice recognition.
Oh yes, for sure, yes.
Yeah, this is very fun.
That's the story of how can I say, the huge gap between uh, between the idea you have of your products in the laboratory and real life.
Yeah.
So at the beginning, we were thinking with my brother, okay, let's say something really cool, really intelligent, really smart, and let's say that um, voice recognition will be really appealing for refraction. It was, yes, it was a crazy idea. We were really um, excited by that. So we with my CTO, which who is Fabien, the third guy who joined the team 1 year after, uh, code for that. We were really happy. It worked really well, and so basically we broadcast he letters in front of the patient. Snellen he letters, and we just asked the patient about the orientation of the e-letters, up, down, left, right, or I can see. And when we did the test, it was really accurate, really fast, all was perfect. And we launched it in real life, and the outputs were really bad, and we didn't understand why. And at some point, I said, okay, I really, I need to see the patient making the test, and I say, okay, I go in the refraction room, I enter it, in it, and I was seeing the patient. I can draw it because I remember really, really well the scene, and the patient was in front of the patient with a perfect eye exam, with a 20/20 vision, without no glasses, an emetropic patient. And we were broadcasting and showing him an e-letters, I think, like that. This size, this size. My screen is too little. Sorry, but
It's
this,
impossible to mix it.
and on the right direction, and the patient see. Yes, of course I can see it. It's on the left.
He has, and everybody has his own left and right.
And we understand that something like in the French population, something like 20 or 30% of patients are confused about left and right. And so you simply can't work with your voice recognition. And so we
Yeah,
put a joystick now and a button, and it's like on the road, when you drive
yeah.
a car, you don't think
We
about
don't
left,
think anymore.
you don't think anymore, and
Yeah,
it works. So it shows two things. The first is, um, there is a gap between what we have in mind and the thing your users will react and act with the product. That the first
mhm.
thing. The second is, test it until you make it, because
Yeah,
because just imagine if we launch the production of, let's say, 1000 of units of our product with voice recognition, and then we put it on the market, we simply had killed the company.
yeah,
So every time you have something in mind, and even if you think that's a little feature and little an optional thing, and you are 100% sure that it will work, test it.
yeah.
Test.
But I think it's from technically it also makes easier than to create the product and work on the product now because of the voice recognition. If you eliminate voice recognition part and just continue working on other thing.
Yes.
Is it like that? And I think even by using that, can you imagine if you have three machines in one room and everybody says right, left while doing the examination? It's a bit gonna be a bit
Exactly.
messy, and they're gonna also affect each other. So this means that technically you have to have this device, only one device in the room.
Exactly. And because I know that, like me, you are an ophthalmologist, and you know how it could be a nightmare in an ophthalmological center when everyone is reading at the same time in multiple in
Yes.
multiple rooms. When I enter in my refraction room today with two Glasspop, there is just one noise. It's the sound of the lenses in the refractor
Switching.
switching.
And now let's talk about the pattern because you said that I have to remind you about
Yes,
that
yes.
pattern.
Every entrepreneurs I heard, when they have at the things at the first at the really, really early stage, where they try to talk about the ID, have one fear, uh, and they see it like a threat. I have to have a pattern before to talk, before to show my ID. And the thing is, no. So,
No, okay.
yes, it's counterintuitive. The more you talk about your product, the better it is, because, um, except for, I think, really, really precise and niche market, maybe like biotech or uh, deep, really deep technology, uh, uh, your idea will change, and the more you get feedback, the more valuable it is. First,
Mm-hmm.
secondly, um, when you talk about your ID, let's take an example. You talk about your ID to 100 person, okay, 100 people. 50 people will say, okay, that's a bad ID. Okay, so
Yes.
you it remain 50 people. Um, and 25 people will say, okay, it's a good idea, but I've already seen that, and so I'm not such excited about that. Okay, so let's drop 25 people, it remain 25 people. On 25 people,
Mhm.
24 have a job, and they are
They're not
not
interested.
yes, they are not going to resign for to stall your ID, so it's
Yeah.
remain one people. And the thing is, I've never seen somebody have their ID stole just by talking about that. The second thing is, when you are in front of investors, if you say that your main barrier for your ID is that, for your project, is that you are the first one who have the ID, it won't work. Okay, you have to be the better, to show, you have to show that you are the better to create that. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
because if, when you talk about your project, if you say that, I'm the one who will win because I'm the first one who have the ID, it's not such a good advantage. Okay, you have to prove to people in front of you and who are thinking about investing in your company, you have to prove that you are the only person in the world who are able to create a really powerful product with that idea. And if your defense it's only having the ID, it won't work.
Yes, only having the idea. But how you overcame that? I mean, it's also frustrating to have, like, we talked about 50 people who are not interested or just demotivating already you. 25 are just also saying something negative. So how you overcame that? I mean, with your brother, I'm okay. It's good to have someone who is supporting you and also in the same field. But how to overcome that frustration? Because you are so excited with your idea and you think this is great, and people are telling you it's not going to work, and additionally no one is going to get into your team because they have their own job, they don't want to be invested. So how you overcame that?
It's always the same thing. You have to be sure, and you know that you have to think that you understand something that people don't understand yet.
Mm-hmm.
That was the thing with my brother. When
Mm-hmm.
we talk about automatic refraction, and still today, um, a lot of people thought that it won't work. You know,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people thought that manual refraction is better. A lot of people thought that it was too complicated. A lot of people thought that um, uh, patient won't be able to do refraction by themselves. And with Mathieu, my brother, we simply know and we are convinced that it's not about accuracy, it's not about cultural, it's not about culture, it's not about um, uh, the the speed. It's just that that's the only way we are able to tackle the problem of access to ophthalmology.
How risky it is to come with your idea, which you consider as a big idea, to come to a big company. So you're taking basically this step and this risk, yeah, and at the end you're just gonna be distance. distance from this idea, and you will never prove that it was your idea actually.
Really important question, because every entrepreneur is asking that at some point. The thing is, if you want to create a successful company, the idea count for maybe 5%. 95% is the execution.
Absolutely, totally agree. Yeah.
And so, if you think that there is somebody in the world, a huge company, or a small group of um, people like you, who are able to do the same thing like you, or maybe in a better way, just stop and give up. If you
Mhm.
think that you understand some things that people don't understand at the moment, you have no competitors.
Because
The
you can see, you are the one who sees the following micro steps better and clearer than themselves than them.
Because you are the one who will execute faster.
And do you think that in the future maybe you would like to create like a app based on from Glasspop? And do you
Yes,
okay?
uh, we were thinking about, the hotspot like ChatGPT now. So
Yes, yes, it's a hot topic everywhere. Everybody
yeah,
is just talking about
yes,
that.
who have insiders in ChatGPT. So
Wow.
so we talked a lot about ChatGPT, and the new version, it's actually the free, and the ChatGPT 4 will be crazy, and I'm really impressed by this product. And it's a hot topic in the world, but it could be a real game changer, I think, in medtech, especially for, I think, patient interaction, like a very powerful tool to prepare the consultation. I don't
Mhm.
know if you understand what I have in mind, but like, it's always the same thing. The battle is to try to save time in an efficient way, and I think it could help us to um, pre-record information before the patient walk in the
Mhm.
in the center. So yes, regarding the app with Glasspop, I think now we are in the consulting room, and in the future it will be powerful to be a little bit just before the consultation and after the consultation. When I talk about after the consultation, I
Mhm.
think it could be really interesting at some point to send an email to a patient and to say, okay, you made a test uh, 2 years ago, and we think that maybe your vision have changed. Are you able to read that?
So you mean that you give a patient a task when he leaves you, like in 2 months or something, to recheck his visual acuity himself, and in
Yes,
6 months, basically 3 months after he checked himself, to come to you with prepared information about himself.
exactly, exactly. And I think it could be an interesting tool to motivate and to incentive the patient to have a comprehensive eye exam more frequently. You know,
Okay.
uh, because we all know that a lot of problem in ophthalmology are because patients didn't don't have enough comprehensive eye exam on a regular way. And if we are able to find incentive to show them that it's really important to go to see the eye care professional every 2 years, I think 2 years could be something interesting regarding the numbers and the pathology. Um, we have to do that. So I think maybe if we are able from their home, to show them that something has changed, and even if that's at the end of the day, that's not the thing we want to check, it will be really efficient. If, for example, if I know that the refraction has changed between um, the moment, the period he made the test in Glasspop and 2 years after, and if I'm able to show him that his vision has changed from his home, the call to action on the app could be, I take an appointment with my
Okay.
ophthalmologist.
Okay. With my ophthalmologist or with your center?
With my ophthalmologist, because we are always in a B2B. Um,
Okay.
oh, I mean ophthalmologist because I'm always thinking about the French market, but with my optometrist or my center, the center where I made the test.
But do you think this will reduce the amount of patients for a doctor, because every patient in a private practice is an income basically, and if the patient reduces his examinations in the private practice because he's checking his visual acuity in the app himself without going to a doctor, do you think
It
it's
will,
gonna affect something?
no, I think it will increase the number of patients because we will just uh, check his visual acuity by the app, and at the end say to him, you have to see your doctors, make
Okay.
an appointment. Okay,
Okay.
so it's a way, with Glasspop we want to create a fast pass to the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
To make
so
people aware of what they
exactly,
actually need. Mm-hmm.
exactly, exactly, we want to make refraction easily.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we want to make comprehensive eye exam, access to comprehensive eye exam easier than now. So we want to create solution to better connect patient and ophthalmological centers.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Yeah.
we want to create link between patient and ophthalmologist. So, for example, if you take Glasspop in your ophthalmological centers, a patient in 2023 make a test on Glasspop, and you know his refraction, his subjective refraction. 2 years or 3 years later, we think that his vision has changed, and we send to him a little test on his phone just to check his current refraction, his current
Mm-hmm.
and if it change, the call to action on the app, the button won't be that's your prescription, thank you, but the call to action will be click here to have an appointment with your doctor because you need that.
Mm-hmm.
And we could have a direct connection with your uh, EHR, your electronic health record system, and
Mm-hmm.
to create the appointment.
You advised me to read this article. It was amazing. I really enjoyed reading that. Why do you think that software will eat ophthalmology and medicine in general? And should we be aware that at some point we're going to be, as doctors, replaced?
I'm not concerned about the fact that human will be replaced in medicine by computers. I think that, and it's counterintuitive, but I think that our jobs with technology are moving from a more human position that than we are today, because more and more I will spend time talking about their life with my patients, and
Yes,
less
of course.
measuring them.
Yeah.
So we're moving from uh, administrative task, or can I say technique task, to a more care approach of our job. And you say, when I see, for example, in France, for the example of ophthalmology, and for the example and the precise example of cataract surgery, today everyone is a good surgeon in cataract. Everyone, almost everyone. Okay, but let's say everyone. Okay, I'm 100% sure that the best doctor regarding cataract surgery in the coming years are not the most skilled one, but they will be the most human one and the most kind with the patient.
How to find like-minded people? So you have your brother, and it's already a great support. At some point, two people are not enough, I think, and you need more. And also, of course, preferably to have doctors, because they are in the field and it's easy to communicate about further steps. So where to find these like-minded people? And I also know that you first time launched it at one of the congresses, I think.
Um, uh, I think, and it's a good thing. More and more, entrepreneurship is a hot topic in medicine, and especially in ophthalmology. I see more and more young doctors trying to launch their own company and trying to launch their own startup. And I think it's a real good thing, because we are the one who knows the market and who knows the problem by heart. So ophthalmologists and doctors and eye care professionals and nurses are the one who need and who must change things in medicine. So it's a good thing. Secondly, when I went to Congress, more and more I see session about innovation, and that's a good thing.
Yeah,
And I'm really happy that the ESRS launched last year the first innovation session. It was a great success. Thanks to and congratulations to the ESRS to did that to do that. But I think now in medical school we have to have session and learning about uh, entrepreneurship, and especially
yeah,
about launching a product, and so code. Okay, because
yeah,
when I started my medical school, I have session about statistics to understand evidence-based medicine and to understand properly the to be able to critique the article I read, and now to be part of the revolution in medicine, you need to know how to code. So we have to create the emulation in medical school for that. You
yeah,
have, because I'm really confident, especially you are from Austria. Europe is an incredible place to create innovation. We can't stop about criticize Europe, but it's crazy area for innovation, and we can really change the way we do medicine. So I really want that young doctors go for that,
yeah.
and I am happy because it's a hot topic today.
I
I
think they will go. They will definitely go because they were born in the area of internet. They don't know what was before internet, and they were born, and then they developed in the area of applications and gadgets. So
yes,
their brain works in a different way.
they understand the tools,
Yeah,
they understand the tools to create that. But the thing is, if young doctors are watching us, you are the one who will win. Big companies launch ton of products every year which failed, and we simply don't hear about that. But you don't have to be to see big companies like a threat. You have to see them like an opportunity for you to help you to grow. So
Yeah.
if you are able to create an MVP of your product, a minimal valuable product, or just a little demonstration of your product, and if you have the ambition and the vision to create something big, you can you can in every country of the world, just with a laptop and with motivation, you can today. So we need to have the help of both Congress to talk about that and to emulate creation in eye care professional, and we need schools on board too.
So how far do you think software will invade into ophthalmology or healthcare system in general? Do you think that we should keep in mind that less is more or more is more?
Um, I- it's always difficult to make prediction about the future, but I think um,
Do you think at some point it will be out of our control to control actually how far it can go?
I
Because
don't
we
think
are slowly introducing in a more deeper way the artificial intelligence, everything. And do you think this artificial intelligence at some point will be just developing by itself?
that's the dream of some of us, but I think we are really, really far from that. Really, really
Okay.
far. Regarding technology and regarding adoption, you know.
Yeah.
So I think we it's very too early to see artificial intelligence like a threat for medicine. I think we have to see that like a chance for us to build better products, to see more patients, to see more patients, especially in developing countries, in rural areas where it's difficult to see a doctor. And I think we let's stop to have a passive role in that, and let's start to create that.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
the most efficient way to make this a chance and not a threat will be to create that.
Mhm.
So
To be part of it.
for sure, for sure. But I'm not concerned at all about the thing that artificial intelligence could replace doctors. Really, I think it's there is no.
No, that yes, this part is already clear. I also don't believe in that. But it was just interesting to know how far this development can go and who controls that. Are we gonna be the one always who controls that? Or at some point we will just also lose control because we're constantly putting data in artificial intelligence. We're creating algorithms, we're creating patterns. This is what I mean.
This
And how
algorithm.
important it is to be aware in order not to lose this control and stay in charge of that.
You have to be in the laboratory where these things
Yeah,
are created. You have to
yeah,
understand today. If you want to make good medicine today, you have to read. You have to aware about evidence-based medicine and to understand the in and the outs of statistic.
yeah. Basically, the constant update and upgrade not only software but also yourself.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. And tomorrow you will need to understand code and artificial intelligence to
Yes.
know if this algorithm is a good one for your patient.
Absolutely. I totally agree that doctors and all these technicians who creates the product for doctors has to work together. Of course, they were already working together, but doctors were not that much into this software part. But now I think we will be more and more in that field as
For sure,
well.
for sure. And patients are not child. If they know that there is a tech company beside the product and no doctors, they won't use it. 100%
Yeah,
sure of that.
the trust is gonna be affected. Yeah,
The
yeah.
trust is in doctors today, and so if patient understand that this product have been made by doctors, they will use it. So
Yes,
for sure.
I totally agree. Totally agree. And what are the next steps for Glasspop?
Take the
Sorry?
control of the world. Take the control of the world, Tuti. Tool in France. We make something like 2,000, 3,000 refraction by week. And I hope that by the end of the year, we will be the first one in Europe. 2023 will be a very important year for us. And 2024, I hope to find ambitious people to put Glasspop on another level, on a worldwide level, and to launch the product in US and in the rest of the world.
Wow. That's really cool. And what are the challenges at the moment? Do you have any like a little challenge, not like little challenges, but little corrections which you are still working on?
You know, every the main question I ask to myself every day is, do I really understand what people want in refraction?
You mean
That's
doctors or patients?
both.
Mm-hmm.
But today, my customers are doctors. So every day, I spend my day talking to users and trying to better understand what they really want.
In
And
terms
that
of what?
in terms of refraction, in terms of the problem I'm trying to solve with Glasspop.
And what do they say? What are those problems?
I think um, today they are trying to. I will say that we are now at the beginning, and I haven't say that 2 years ago. I hadn't say that 2 years ago from now, but I think now eye care professionals are aware of the thing that refraction will be automatized,
Okay.
and now they are thinking about how can I put automatic refraction in my daily practice in, a,
Mm-hmm.
in an efficient way, and the market is really ready now for that, and they are trying to see what could be the impact in their daily practices. you know uh, how can i how can I can how can I plug Glasspop in my center, and what will be the consequences regarding the patient journey and the ROI, the return on investment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that the thing. That the thing.
Well, I hope you will figure it out. But I think you're already having a great success, and I wish you that this success grows bigger and you get it, and you get everything back what you invested, your time, your effort, and your
Thank
energy.
you.